Hey there everybody, this is Axel the Hunter bringing you a quick guide for one of the new features introduced in patch 3.4 Soul Surrender, which just released a couple days ago for Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn. There were quite a few things, we expect from most of the patches. Quite a few new features were added, new story, new bosses, new features like the duel system that are all pretty cool. One thing that a lot of people haven't talked about too much is a new user interface feature that they actually introduced for people who use controllers. I mean, obviously, those who have been using controllers have been a slight disadvantage to PC users or mouse and keyboard users, whether you're playing on PC, PS4, especially PlayStation 3. Is we're obviously quite a bit more limited on our slots. We also don't have a mouse to click on things off to the side. We don't have as many hotbars to look out for our cooldowns, which, well, we do have the ability to pull up some hotbars, but they really don't help that much with the controller. There's no quick means to get to them, unless you want to pull up the slow, bright joystick mouse, which really isn't going to help anybody when you're in the middle of a battle. That said, Square Enix has finally done something to fix this. They went over it in a live letter, which obviously was pretty much in Japanese, so nobody really got to really understand what was happening here. But first, let's start with what we do have. Obviously, we have our different hotbars we can switch to with our buttons. That's nothing new. We've also had the ability to take, say, hotbar 8, for example, here. Hold R2, L2 to get one half of it, L2, then R2 for the other half of it, and that's been the extent of what we have. 2 whole hotbars, just at our disposal. Now, what they've done is hidden away here in the character configuration under hotbar settings. We have, of course, the different bars we can display, sharing, and then we have the cross section. We're all familiar with this. So you decide how you want everything to really work here. What is new, however, is W cross hotbar display, or WXHB as they abbreviate it. Now, when you first go in here, this is going to be turned off, of course, so you turn that on. And the other important function here is the WXHB input timer. Now what this is, I'm going to get into on the next page here. Once you first get into the cross hotbar here, it's not necessarily going to show you everything. When you first get it pulled up, it's only going to pull 2 parts of your bar. It's going to show just the button inputs for your well, I'm just going to use the PlayStation buttons here, but obviously triangle, circle, X, square on each side of the bar. This is what a lot of people found when they first turned it on, wondered what the hell was going on, because it's just confusing as all hell. But here's the thing, they've got it split into 2 menus. So you first have to go in here and find this box which says enable WXHB with simultaneous L2 and R2 or trigger double tap. If you are not using the hold function on the cross hotbar and you do not activate this checkbox here, you will not be able to use this hotbar as it currently stands. It'll be there just for aesthetics, and that is it. As for getting the rest of your buttons to show up, you have to click the enable directional buttons. And rather than just switch to the directional buttons like it kind of implies, this is actually going to pull up the other half of your set. So there they are. Now that they show up. Another neat function here is you can go in, and I can't believe they did this, honestly, but you can mix and match halves of your hotbars on here. You can do half of your first bar, half of your second bar, vice versa. Anything you want, you can do, any combination. Granted, if you're organized like most people are, I mean, obviously you're probably going to make one bar dedicated just for the W, but otherwise, I mean, if you're odd and don't do that, then I mean it's there. Now, let's go ahead and go back to the cross settings here. You remember me mentioning the input timer. What this is how fast or how slow it will actually count you doing a double tap to get to this bar. So for example, if you put it to the lowest value, 10, no matter how fast you do it, you are not going to be able to access this bar. I've set it to about 25, and when you do it right, hold it normally, you got your normal bar, press twice, and there you go. You're now up on your second bar. Now, and it works either way. And then best of all, say you've got, say, crossbar 8 for your original. If you just hold R2, then press L2 while holding it, you still have your second hotbar that you had previously before this new one came along. So you've got a total of 3 full hotbars of 16 commands all together. So that said, I mean, it's obviously going to help tremendously when it comes to just optimizing everything whenever you're doing raiding, whether you raid, whether you're just in a normal dungeon. It's just going to help you be much more efficient, have much more access to everything that you could possibly need at any given moment. Other added benefit, of course, is you're going to have the ability to see cooldowns and such for things that you may not have normally had. For example, here, we'll go ahead and... Well, that didn't work the way I intended for it. So let's go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and take this outside real quick, and we're going to kind of take a look at just kind of the application of the new bar. Jesus Christ, the second half of that video was a horrible idea. So rather than leave you with the original audio that was there, I'm just going to go ahead and do a quick commentary here, just kind of going over the general matter of what I was going to go into, not waste your time showing my horrible antics on a striking dummy. So basically what I went on to say originally was, once you go back into this menu here, there's going to be a couple important options. Once you go into the character configuration, then go back into your new W cross hotbar settings, there's going to be 2 very important things. One, which I failed to mention originally, is the fact that there is an option that in the middle that will ask whether or not you want the system to automatically switch you back to your normal hotbar immediately after every action. Obviously, you're going to want to turn that off, or you're going to get really messed up every time you try to use it. The other thing that I went into is the fact that you can also go in and completely lose your train of thought. I was actually going to go on to say that you can also go in and inside the character configuration page under the cross section, you actually have to go in and tell it if you want the W part of your new bar to actually stay along with the rest of your hotbars, or if you want to be able to adjust it. Then, once you've gone through that completely unnecessary step, you could actually go in to the HUD layout, and at that point you can go in and move the new bars around separately, as well as you can also go in and you can resize them so that they don't take up your entire screen. Honestly, by default, before I made the adjustment, which I forgot to show in the video, it was actually covering my chat log and just about everything else on the screen. It was very ugly, but being able to go in and change those layouts helps quite a bit. Last thing I went into is, in fact, if you look right now, you can see I'm going over it. If you go into character configuration and then go to the HUD settings, as you can see in the top right corner, you now have the ability to display the clock for server time, in-game time, or Eorzean time, or just your local time, all at the same time now. You don't have to go in and click on the top right anymore like you used to have to, so just having those there is pretty nice, especially on those days when you know you have maintenance. So just a nice little addition there. But that said, I want to thank you so much for tuning in, listening to me ramble on here. First video, so it's pretty awkward, obviously, and just to show how awkward, I got a couple clips at the end here that are just some outtakes from when I first started. So we ought to have some fun here with that. But I plan to do a few more of these in the future, so if you want to stay caught up, as well as just watch some other random gameplay, feel free to subscribe, but otherwise, completely optional. But just want to thank you again, and everyone have a good day. Hello there, folks. This is Axel the Hunter, here on... Shit. Hey there, everyone. This is Axel the Hunter coming to you from... God damn it.